Hello there, everybody. How are we doing? I hope you're well. I'm not too bad myself. I started off the day pretty well and interesting, so I'm hoping you also had a beautiful start to the day. Well, you're welcome. It's a beautiful start today, beautiful weekend as well. How did your week go? I mean, mine went pretty well. It's quite balanced. I'm hoping you had the same as well. But anyway, you're welcome to your favorite Trotro Diaries right here on Joy Prime Television. We come your way every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. It's just for an hour, and so by midday we are done. But we come your way with really insightful conversations about transport, about our country, about our environment, and today is no different. And so you should really expect something good, an insightful conversation per usual, and of course entertaining as well, because we're not going to give you something boring and you're just not going to watch your television and go like, hey, my check politics are from a Monday to Friday, Saturday. Mommy, some entertainment would give you all of that right here on the show. Remember, this show is proudly sponsored by Hisense Ghana. Listen, if you're looking for quality appliances, if you do not want to compromise on quality, as you should, and you don't also want to break your bank, because I can understand, especially when you're a bachelor or somebody just starting life, it can be tough. But listen, with Hisense, I can assure you it's a brand that cares, it's a brand that does not compromise on quality, and they're very, very affordable. And so if you're looking for anything, kitchen appliances, living room appliances, anything that screams gadget, anything that screams digital, even phones, from your fridges to your air conditioners to your LED television sets to your whatever it is, to your home theaters, whatever it is, just rush into any Hisense branch. They are scattered across the country, all the regions, I'm sure, because they're a very serious brand. And do yourself an honor and get yourself an appliance from Hisense Ghana. You would not regret it. If you do, come get the money from me, I'm telling you. And so big shouts to Hisense Ghana. Thank you so much for partnering with us. And thank you for your viewership as well. We're taking a quick commercial break. In fact, not a commercial break. We're bringing you a segment, which is the Pamper Your Car segment. And by popular request, we're bringing you the segment about changing your oil. I mean, you remember the last 2 weeks, we brought you something about how to wash your engines, which is very important. I for one, I didn't know. I thought washing was all about, cars. I didn't know that, you'd have to also wash your engines as well. And so, yeah, we brought you that. Last week, we brought you how to also change your oil. But by popular request, like I said, we've got to bring that back. And so here is Pamper Your Car.
Through the car, so these are things that you have to look forward for. Sometimes at certain service point, they don't check those things. So you, the car owner, you should also let them know that this is what they have to change for you. And then after that, we'll check your brake pad. We'll check and see whether your brake pads are good or they are bad. So when they are bad, we'll change it for you. And then these are the things that you need to check when it comes to car servicing. Yeah, so these are the brake pad. Sure. And then we'll check your plugs for you. These are the plugs. And not all cars that use the same plugs. This one, as you can see, this one is 14 short, long thread. And then this one too is 14 bigger, like short thread, but the thread is big. So that one you have to take notice of that. This one too is 14, but you can see that the threads are different. So we have the short thread, and then we have a long thread. The difference is that when you put the long thread in the short thread, when your car is performing the pistons, it hits the plugs and it can give you misfiring. So it's very important. So when you check, as you can see, this one is dark. That means the plug is very bad. It's very bad, and it will give you misfiring. It's very, very bad. So normally people, their car don't pull and they don't know the reason why. But when you come, we'll check it for you and see that the plugs are firing or they are not. Normally when it's firing, you see that it will be brownish. But when it's bad, it will be black. It will be smoke, like as if a smoke color. So when it comes to the oil, we have types. Not every car that uses the same oil. we have types of oil. We have the 15W40, we have the 5W30, and so when it comes to the 15W30, that one is for the heavy duty, which is the diesel engines. And when it comes to the 5W30, that one too is for the newer cars. Let's say the 2022. You see, mostly the new cars, they use aluminium. What's the name? Aluminium materials to do it. So that one they have to take lighter oil. And the old cars, as you all know, the old cars, the engines are very heavy. So when you count that one, you will see to that is very important. Depending how long you've used your car and the number of miles and kilometers that your car have gone, that's the type of oil that will give it to you. Because the oil, we have the thick ones and we have the lighter ones. So that's the 15W40, the 5W30, and 5W40 and stuff, 5W20. So we have different types depending on the type of car that you are using, the engine that you are using. So this is the air cleaner, the new one. As you can see, is very clean, very, very clean. This is how it's supposed to be. But when you put it in the car and you drive it for some time, the dust that will filtrate, it will be dirty, which your next servicing, you have to change it. The brake pad, we have different types of brake pad. We have some people, they do it like, they say aftermarket and stuff, like people do it, it's a full metal, this thing, which you'll be using it, instead of the brake pad to wear, it's the disc rather that will be wearing off. The correct one is the ceramic. So this is how thick it is when it's new. So when it's getting old, you see that it will wear off and to the extent of even touching the metal.
This is why you need to service your car regularly to prevent unnecessary breakdowns. At Autolife Auto Parts, we add more life to your car. Our services include and not limited to engine oil change, transmission fluid change, coolant, spark plugs, car batteries, wiper blades, washer fluids, and so on. Anytime you are due for service, locate us and get your car pampered. You can locate us inside North Legon on the Wisconsin University Road. Call or WhatsApp us on 050 888-6333. Thank you and see you soon at Autolife Auto Parts.
And that is your memo to pamper your car, specifically change your oil. It's important, okay? Just like how you like to rejuvenate every now and then, go to the spa, pamper yourself, get some facials, get some pedis, some manis. That is how you need to also pamper your car. So it rejuvenates itself, it serves you better. So yeah, that was our segment. Remember, the show is proudly brought to you by Hisense Ghana. Last 2 weeks, my co-host was late. Listen, we've been arguing. He's been trying to deny it. This is the second time a man, not a woman, he has nothing to do with makeup, nothing to do with getting dressed, wearing accessories and all of that. He came late, and I had to, put that in his face. So yeah, my co-host is here. Why are you laughing? You should be ashamed of yourself for coming late.
The reason I'm laughing, right, is because, first of all, I apologize for coming in late to you and the team.
Okay, that's gentlemanly.
But the interesting thing is, whenever you were late, I'd be like, oh, we've sent you on an assignment.
You're not a woman.
That's why you just threw me under the torture.
You're not a woman.
You just threw me under the torture like that.
That's how women do.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
come on, I'm joking.
I know. But of late, I'm beginning to suspect that you're cheating on me, because I remember last time you called someone your better half.
Okay.
I'm beginning to suspect.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yaodu, my better half, is here. Happy. Are you happy now?
I'm happy.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so we're back on the Trotrodice TV show. I think I'm looking really great today. I've got my Made in Ghana watch on. And as you can see, Noella, as usual,
I've got my Made in Europe.
Sorry, we don't do that here. We're representing Made in Ghana. Anyway, so we're continuing the conversation. I think for the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about environmental pollution, right? We focused on plastics. This week, it's going to be an interesting conversation because we actually went out there, had some conversations, and Charlie was bad. So we went towards Medina, right? Yeah. And it was extra sad for me because we actually went to the point where Trotrodice started, which is Medina Zongo Junction.
Okay.
Man, it was an eyesore. It was sad.
From the time you went, last time you visited there, you mean?
So the sad thing is that road-wise, it's gotten better.
Okay.
But the streets were filled with litter.
Terrible.
In fact, it wasn't litter, it was baller.
Yeah.
And so today we're continuing the conversation on the environmental pollution. We started, juxtaposing it against the Galamsey impact that it has on our environment. But having a broader conversation that there are other things that we're also doing that's impacting our environment negatively. So that's what we're going to be having a conversation on.
Right.
So definitely today is going to be an interesting conversation. And shortly we're going to go for a commercial break, but I think we need to add something.
Of course, it's an interactive show, and so you've got to be a part of it. You can join us via Zoom, and you get the opportunity to share your views with us and the whole world as well.
Yeah.
Or you can share your WhatsApp messages. The numbers will be displayed on the screen, so you can text us and let us know what you think. Like Yao said, it's a continuation of a conversation we had last week, where we had the CEO of Macintosh Ghana, Makafui, who's actually on his way to becoming my best friend.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
I'm just saying. So yeah, we had a very insightful conversation where he suggested some really progressive ways that we can manage, plastic pollution. Mentioned that he thinks we should create an economically empowering module where basically people sell waste for money. And I remember I mentioned that it's already been done, I think. You see people go around, pick up, specifically, I think, plastic, what's it?
The sachets.
Sachet rubbers, and they sell it. But he says we should do it on a larger scale, so it really encourages people, including myself. Maybe you never know, you might see me and Yao also picking it. Because if I'm going to pick one, rubber, and that rubber is going to go like, let's say, for 500 cedis a bag. Hello.
Like, we want to stop watching.
So
I'm actually doing it in my neighborhood, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll share some pictures. So we did some project, and the idea was buying back. So we actually work with Macintosh as well. We did this container in the shape of like a trotro.
Okay.
I'll see if we can get a picture to the producer.
Okay, sure.
And so our neighborhood now, everybody drops it in there.
Oh, nice.
The first time, I think we had 107 kilograms of plastic waste. Yeah.
Nice. That's very progressive. And this is what we mean, to lead by. I'm very happy you're doing that. That's you leading by example.
I'm cool like that.
Yeah. You're cool like that. I'm not cool.
You're cool. Anyway, but the interesting thing that I think we should look into as well?
Tell me.
So there actually, the last time I was checking, right, I think there actually is some kind of tax on plastics.
Okay.
We should have been going into this, but the question is,
We're going to delve deeper into this, but right after this breather, stay with us.
Okay, so you're welcome back. Once again, the show is proudly sponsored by Hisense. So for the last couple of weeks, as we said, environment. Why? Because it's getting to a point where if we don't take it seriously, it will get out of hand. Galamsey is playing a role. We are littering. We are also doing our part, which is like majority of the people contributing to it. And so that's why we've paid so much attention to this, because if we don't take care, there's something that's going to come back and haunt us. And so we need to have a conversation on it. So we had a follow-up conversation with Makafui, who is the founder of Macintosh. We spoke to him on the show last week. And so we went in to look at some of the cool stuff that we're doing and to also understand what the issue is. And so we had a conversation with Macintosh. We're going to bring you the conversation. And then when we come back, we have some young people from ISEC who would also be delving into the conversation. So we go for this conversation with Makafui. So for the last couple of weeks and months, the raging conversation has been on Galamsey and its impact on the environment. Now, that is a very serious issue that needs to be addressed. But there's another issue that also needs to be looked at, which is plastic pollution. Galamsey is a few people impacting the environment in a very negative way, but plastic pollution involves all of us. Now, the conversation also is that with Galamsey, especially in the very directly affected communities and even our communities, plastic pollution potentially could get worse. Because now people are not going to rely on the taps. They're going to need more pure water, amongst other stuff. And so today we are Macintosh Africa, who has been doing a lot of work on the environmental space, to have a conversation and see, apart from Galamsey, what else is impacting our environment, and what do we need to do about it? McAfee, Charlie, how be?
I'm good, and you?
Nice. We're doing good as well.
Good to have you.
Thank you. So we are here today to bring plastic pollution into the whole environmental conversation that has started. We know that you have been doing some work on plastic pollution and the environment. Now, what I want you to do is paint a picture of how bad the problem is when it comes to plastic pollution. Tell us also about what you guys have been doing, and then we'll pick the conversation from there.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So the plastic issue is a big problem. It's a big problem because when you look at the various types of packaging material, glass, paper, and plastic, plastic is the cheapest. So it means that almost all companies are now even packaging their products in plastic material. And now the economies we have are cheap economy. Everybody is looking for a cheaper way to get things done. So the pollution problem is going to get worse. Then the issue of polluted waters all over the country means that people are going to rely more on bottled water, more on sachet water, because nobody is going to trust the water that flows through our taps. But then the bigger challenge is the way we handle plastics. If you go to our lorry stations in the afternoon, especially when you are going back home, you'll be literally standing in plastic waste just to wait for the vehicle. If you go to our market, it's the same problem. On Sundays and Monday mornings, you see huge sums of plastic waste lying by the roadside, waiting to be taken. Then the question is, when it rains before the boiler car comes, what happens to the waste? So these are big issues we need to look at. And then even our tourism spaces, all the waste we leave in the environment. You wash Shisha Shop to Labadi Beach and all the beach fronts. And people are rather going to Tanzania and Kenya to go to tourism spaces than come to Ghana. So the problem is huge. But there are a lot of opportunities for us to be able to take advantage of this pollution problem. Where if we sustainably handle the plastic waste well.
Okay, so just before. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry about that. We're having some technical challenges with the video. So what we're going to do is work on it and then bring you the full video, because there's a lot of insight in it that McAfee shared. And so we'll bring it back to you next week. We're having some challenges with that. But that notwithstanding, next week we'll come back. We're going to have a full conversation on it. And maybe, hopefully, we might even have McAfee in studio.
Probably. Now, we are back in studio. We're going to be having a conversation still on environmental pollution. And we've got some very nice individual, a lady and a gentleman from ISEC Ghana. It's an acronym for something. They're going to be telling us all about it, but also they are going to also be talking to us about what they do for the environment. I hear they're doing something really amazing. They partner with a very known name, the Bus Stop Boys, in, you know, really developing our country. And so you're welcome, ladies first. Lady.
What happened to gender equality?
But of course, that's why I'm saying ladies first.
Gentlemen first.
No, it can never be gentlemen
Why
first.
not?
No.
What happened to equality?
Belinda, how are you? Do you agree that we should do gentlemen first?
No.
Of course.
Why not?
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Of
Why
course. Because ladies first.
When you said equality, they said we're changing. I said, you are come to that.
So it's Belinda and Kwame. Kwame, how are you?
I'm doing
I love your get-up.
Thank you.
Are you single?
Yeah.
So is the blue...
I prefer not to say.
What do you mean you prefer not to say?
prefer not to say.
What do you... So I want to know whether the Bluetooth can pay. I tell you prefer not to say. Or you don't like me.
Giving you
talking
signal.
chambers.
No.
He's
it's
giving
not that I
you
don't like
signal.
No, do you like me? Am I your spec?
I'm talking chambers.
it. Yeah.
Am I your spec?
Oh, you're actually a great man, and
I'm not your spec.
you are.
Oh my
you
God.
You are.
No, what is your spec?
My,
Anything goes. My cameraman is actually laughing. Anyway, it's enough of the specs. I'm obviously not his spec, and it's fine. It's okay. But Kwame, you're welcome.
I think
I'm
you
sure
are.
his girlfriend. No, his girlfriend is watching.
Not his girlfriend. It's probably his girlfriend.
Yeah,
That's
or
like,
significant-
I prefer not to say. He's pleading the fake.
Oh my God.
That's a smart one.
Anyway, guys, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're part of ISA.
Yeah.
I mean, ISA, what does it stand for? Who wants to go first? You?
Yeah, I think Kwame.
Okay, Kwame.
so ISEC basically stands for, it's now a one word, but first it was a full word which stands for association, as in French. Association des International Économiques et Étudiants.
Oh, okay. I see. And what do you guys do? What's so special about ISA?
So we are into youth leadership development, and we do this through leadership seminars, through promotion of the SDGs, such as the promoting health and well-being, improving the sanitation. That's why last 2 weeks we found ourselves with Bus Stop Boys to improve our sanitation, and also to help people give to the society or to impact people positively, because one of our mission is fulfillment of humankind's potential. And when we do all these things, we are able to impact societies and you feel fulfilled. You could ask Belinda, after our general cleaning exercise, we're really happy that we've been able to clean the roads of Alajo, and you were so happy. Yeah.
I see. That's awesome. And I'm particularly very happy that we're seeing a lot of youthful people and back on, initiatives such as that. And so I'd congratulate you for being a part of the organization. And so you mentioned that last week or last 2 weeks you were with the Bus Stop Boys. Oftentimes last week, I remember when we were talking about, our topic, I gave some stats, and when I went home, somebody was like, Charlie, stats not mine. Is it really the reality on the ground? It's like people doubt that. It's like they think we're just exaggerating, the numbers. And so you have been on the ground. What has been your experience on the ground?
Okay, so when it comes to the ground, when you walk down the road, you realize that there are lots of plastics in the soils, even the walkway areas where people walk around, there is filled with a lot of soil. And sometimes when it rains, they become very slippery. And if you're not careful, you might even slip down the road and you might get hurt. And when it rains like this, some of the roads are blocked. I can use where I live as an example. I live at West Hillsmore, around West Hillsmore area. When it rains right now, all the roads become flooded as a result of these plastic waste. And all these end up draining or clogging our drainage systems. And it will affect the environment.
Right. Even health-wise, right?
Yes, it will affect the health of people, because all these things provide areas or breeding grounds for for mosquitoes, which will end up causing malaria.
I see. Belinda, let me come to you. Am I mentioning your name right?
Yeah, Belinda.
Belinda, awesome.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. Anyway, what has also been your experience?
Okay, for my experience, I see a lot of plastics around, and sometimes you see our drainage systems being clogged with these plastics. And as he said, it leads to flooding. And with these floodings, I've realized that these leads to damaging of our roads, because when the water stays on the road for a long time, it ends. It damages the roads, which leads to potholes, which actually affects our transport. So the vehicles could get spoiled. It causes heavy traffic on our roads. So these are the things I've actually seen.
But since your affiliation with, the organization you're with, have you ever, probably embarked on an initiative like this where you're helping clean the environment and then you get to a point and you're like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. Like one of those very, very, one of a kind of experiences where it really dawns on you that we're really doing ourselves harm.
Okay, for us, this is the first time we've actually embarked on a project like this. So the first time I actually saw this was when we went to clean the Alajo Street.
Okay.
Yes.
But you see the need for us to, promote the proper way of probably discarding of waste and plastic and all of that. And so, I mean, with your experience, again, what would you think would be the best solution in managing the waste that, we create?
I think with this, the best thing we could do is we, the citizens, because I mostly see people talking that the government this, but we, the citizens, end up doing the wrong thing. If we get proper ways of disposing our waste, putting them in the bins, keeping them well, or taking them to a recycling company, it would actually save us more good.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Kwame, okay.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to ask that in his small way, what is he going to do to ensure that going forward, in your little way, what will you do to ensure that, that goal is achieved?
Okay, so with my little experience, I feel like for we to reduce this plastic waste in the environment, we ourselves, we have to ensure that plastics in the environment are minimized. First of all, wherever when we even go to a supermarket right now, we are always requesting for a plastic to put our materials in them. We could start encouraging the use of paper bags.
Right.
Where I happened to be in Rwanda last 2 years as a result of ISEC to volunteer. They use paper bags. If you want to use a plastic bag, you have to purchase it with money.
Okay.
But the paper bags are free. So we could bring policies where plastics are a little bit expensive, which will discourage people from using it. As my colleague said earlier, we could use other alternatives, or we could use other ways. We could even encourage ways, people cooking personally, rather than buying food outside, which will make them purchase plastic.
But I like the fact that you're saying that we should substitute papers with plastics. But for the lame person or the ordinary Ghanaian, probably watching and does not understand or see why, what's the fuss about replacing plastic with paper? Why should we do that?
Okay, plastics are non-biodegradable, which
Please
means
break it down. And remember, to the ordinary Ghanaian. Break it down to the ordinary Ghanaian so they can understand.
Okay, so when I say they are non-biodegradable, it simply means that when it gets in contact with our environment, there's no way it will get out of the environment. It cannot get lost. You will definitely see it again wherever you found it. So if it's in the soil, if it's 5 years from now, it will still be in the soil. Because when we were cleaning the Alajo Road, there were a lot of plastic waste clogged in the sand or in the soil. And we had to collect a lot of them. And you could see that people dump waste around. So I think we should also encourage more waste bins, maybe separated waste bins. So maybe if it's metallic waste, we dump them here. If it's plastic waste, we dump them here. That will make it more easy to recycle them when we are separating them.
I agree, absolutely.
So it's actually very interesting, right? And I haven't told them yet, right? Because the good thing is that 15 or 17 years ago, I joined ISEC actually. And it was the things that we learned in ISEC that actually led to starting Trotrodaries and all that. So ISEC is doing great. ISEC is doing great. And I'm actually excited to see that you guys are not just focused on one thing, but then you're looking at the SDGs, you're doing things in other spaces. So maybe you want to touch on that a little bit, on which areas of the SDG you're addressing and other things like that.
Belinda wants to take that?
Yeah, Belinda has to.
Okay. Hey, Belinda wants to. wants to push it.
Kwame will take this, I'll take the next one.
Sure, so Kwame.
Okay, so
Wait, so just before, what are your roles in ISEC though?
Yeah.
okay, so I'm currently the president for ISEC in Kenya University.
Okay, what
And
about
I'm the
you?
president-elect.
Okay.
ISEC.
Oh, so
For
you're
what?
taking over from him?
Yes,
No, then you should take the question. Since you're the president-elect, you should take the question.
Okay.
Tell us why you are the president.
ISEC Kamala.
Exactly.
Okay, so ISEC is actually a global organization which focuses to help youth develop their leadership potentials through volunteering, through internships. Yes, and they give you experiences, real experiences.
Right.
Yes, so ISEC focuses on the SDGs.
Okay.
Most of our projects are tailored towards the SDGs because one of the aim is fulfilling humankind's potential. And these SDGs would help us fulfill the potentials of human.
Right.
That's why most of our goals are actually tailored towards the SDGs.
Okay.
And it
Kwame,
could
you
be
wanna
any of them. So we don't really have specific
ones.
Yes, we don't really have
Okay.
specific ones.
Okay, but which ones have you? I mean, you are going
Project-wise
outgoing
and all
president.
that, yeah.
Which
Okay,
which
so-
one of them have you embarked on and achieved something with?
Okay, so for us, we have project that we do yearly
Okay.
for ISEC in Kenya University. So as the year goes on, we keep on adding more and more and more. We are more into improving the lives or the economic lives of people. We've carried out a project called the Global Money Week. It's a global project.
Okay.
So Global Money Week, we teach people about financial literacy
Okay.
and policies. So we happen to be at a school in Kumasi called the Akun Basic School, where we taught them about savings, how to keep money, how to manage their money. And we even had the opportunity to teach them how to create susu box with cardboards. And it was really fun and interesting. We also have a project called the Tree Planting Project, where we plant trees
Okay.
just to improve our climate.
Awesome.
Because nowadays, climate change, people are being affected by it. The heat is killing us. So we are trying to improve our climate.
Okay.
We also got opportunity to have a donation drive where we spoke to kids or the final year students writing their BEC. We encourage them to give out their best or prepare them, because some of them, they don't even know the reason why they are going to write a BEC. You realize that
Sorry, you know the interesting
That
thing?
is the fun
I'm enjoying what he's
part.
saying, but he's not adding the fun part because we used to have like a lot of fun. Don't worry, you see something.
I
So
see.
actually on your screens, we have some of the pictures we took last week. Sorry, Kwame. So these are pictures that the streets were littered, which was what I think Kwame was touching on earlier on. So please carry on.
okay, so I know the fun part he's talking about. With every ISEC event, we don't joke with our roll calls. We try to make it fun and interesting. I think over here we might even give you a little roll call where we dance to. So we had
Of
roll
course.
calls
Yeah,
for them.
that's the end of the show.
Noella will be dancing.
No, I won't
Oh,
be
say, let's show some love. Let's show some love for Noella. Okay.
No, I won't be dancing. Okay, yeah, so I see the videos or visuals of some of the plastic,
It was really sad. This is Madina Zongo Junction to Race Junction area.
Crazy. And
Very
people are selling by this, selling food. That's
Right
food.
behind it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, right behind it.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Anyway, so let's get on Zoom. We have Lillian, who is actually not, new to the show. This is going to be like the third or fourth time that she has contributed to our show. And so, Lily, if you can hear me, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Ah, you're looking fabulous.
Oh, thank you. I decided to put this one because I know you like this one.
Of course, I do. So, Lillian, tell us, what do you have to contribute to our conversation today?
Oh,
But she's the
my
only one
goodness.
watching.
I was just watching the video of all the Sorry, it's Claire making the noise. I have to move because someone is also making their own construction. So I was just watching the video and I was so shocked at how much plastic that's out there. And then I remembered, Yao always used to say, when you go to the market and you buy something, think of how many plastics you get. The tomato will be put in a plastic, and that plastic will be put in another plastic. And then you also have your plastic bag you are carrying. But over here, we've started something like using the paper bags, like the young man was saying. So when you go to the supermarket, all the paper bags are there. You pick and you put your stuff in. You don't have the plastic bag. You hardly get it, but you have to pay maybe €1 or €2 or something like that. So I will always take the free paper. I will not buy the plastic. And then also in schools, they put all these bins. So already in school, they are teaching the children how to separate the bins. And they put pictures, because sometimes, even when it's out there, people cannot read. So you put a picture of, let's say, plastic on this bin. The next one is paper. The next one is whatever it is. And that is one thing that is also helping.
That is really awesome. That is really, Lillian, listen, you are like an encyclopedia. Honestly, and I would have loved to have you go on and share some of the experiences from where you are, which is Luxembourg. But time is not our best friend. And so we're gonna have you we're gonna let go of you. But please keep watching. I know you would keep watching anyway.
I will keep watching.
And of course, if you have any other things to share with us, you can do that via WhatsApp. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
So yes,
thank you.
You're welcome. For those of you who do not know, Lillian is actually Yao's sister. Anyway, you're still watching your favorite Social Diaries right here on Joy Prime Television. We're taking a quick breather. When we come, we're going to have another set from Isa, and we're going to have, conclude our conversation. Social Diaries on Joy Prime Television. We are wrapping up on our conversation on plastic pollution. Specifically, we've been speaking to representatives from ISEC Ghana.
Yes.
Right? And you're going to take, this large batch of...
Okay, sure. So they've been doing this project on the environment, and then they are climaxing it with a special event. So we have Namsuya and Kelvin. We're just going to allow them to quickly tell us what's happening, give us the details, so that we can dance more. Over to you guys.
Okay, so I'm Namzoya, and we would want to end the project. We want to climax the project with a dinner party. So we need alumni to support us to make this project a successful.
Okay, great. Kelvin?
Okay.
Yeah, it's literally the same for us, okay? So Isaac and Legon will be having a end of year dinner.
Okay.
And we would actually have a homecoming first. That's from November to December.
Okay.
We'll be reaching out to all.
You people, a while ago, you were talking, you were loud, What is this?
You're not from the best else.
What is it?
I
told you I'll get you people. I told you I'll get you people.
Speak with them.
Yeah, so we'll be having a homecoming.
So Legon, you're having a homecoming, right? From when to when?
November to December.
November to December.
Yeah, we're calling out to all our alumni.
Okay.
Yeah, all around the world.
Yes.
And yours is?
It will be on the 31st of January.
Okay. So what we'll do is that we'll put together the information, use the channels to push it for you guys as well.